Hey everyone, does your driveway look like that? It very well might if you drive like an 1986 to 2014 Ford Mustang. That is caused from a very simple thing that Ford should have actually done a recall on, but we're not going to get into all of that. It's a simple like $10, $20 part that you could buy to fix that simple issue. You probably don't even know if that is a normal problem on these cars until it starts leaking. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Now what I am talking about is the Ford rear axle vent. You can see it right there. This is the original one that comes on the car. If you go to the Ford parts store and get another one of these, do not take it if they try to hand you one that looks like this, because this is defective from factory. Even if you get a brand new one and put it on, there's a good chance it'll just start leaking a week later. However, Ford did fix the issue. They went ahead and updated the design for this right here. Looks very similar, except it's not only this. And now it comes with this massive tube that has a little filter. There we go, a little filter at the end right there. So basically what the rear axle vent does to begin with is it equalizes the air pressure in your axle. I didn't even know that was a thing, had no idea this existed until my car started leaking. So whenever your axle gets really hot, apparently the oil in it gets really hot. It has somewhere to escape to equalize that air pressure, and it comes out that vent. And the original one they put on these cars is apparently defective. I've read tons of forums about it, but you would never know until your car starts leaking, because why would you look up rear axle vent for no reason? But anyway, all you're gonna need to change this out, before I do say what you need to change this out, I want to mention the part number so y'all could get the exact thing. Because when I went to the original dealership, they gave me the old part again, which I found out, you know, still leaks. So I had to go back and get the new one that's updated. I wish they would have told me that from the get-go, but now you guys know, so you won't have to deal with that. So now that we're under the car, a big sign there. So you see that little silver piece sticking out? That is the rear axle vent. Mine looks pretty clean because I did just wipe it down, but it was covered in black, you know, oil there. That's like a big sign, obviously, if that's your problem. If it's leaking down here, you know, at the bottom of your diff, then you probably got a diff leak and you're gonna get that checked out. But hopefully this is your only issue here, like me, which I'm thinking is the only issue I'm having, because around here it's all covered in oil, which I did just recently wipe it. But all you're gonna need is a 9/16 wrench, which just something like this. I mean, you could probably use a crescent wrench too. You know, you just have a little bit more of a higher chance of threading it out or whatever. So I just like to use a specific wrench. But after you clean that up with brake cleaner, all you're gonna do is clean the axle with some brake cleaner, take the old rear axle vent out, put the new one in, install the tube on the new one, and then attach it to the rear diff lip right there, away from the exhaust, so you don't burn that piece of plastic on the tube. So after taking the old part out, you want to go ahead and clean around the hole that you just took it out from. Just make sure no old debris gets caught in your axle. And then you want to hand tighten the new part right there. Except this one's going to require a 13mm wrench instead of the 9/16 that we used to remove this one. But the threads are the same size, just the bolt on top is a bit smaller. So you want to ease that in, and if you do have basically a torque wrench, you could get it down to the specifics, 15 foot-pounds that Ford requires, which I most likely will do, but hand tightening should do just fine as well. So once you get it down, pretty much started all the way in, you could take your torque wrench with a 13mm socket and finish it off. But then after that, you're just going to add the tube. I just want to mention one quick thing. If your axle has been leaking for a while, I would recommend checking your diff fluid. It's very simple. You just come to the back of the diff here, and there is a screw right here. Well, not much of a screw, but this is the fitting you're going to need to unscrew that right there. And all you're going to do is, after you take out that bolt, stick your pinky in, and if it's full, you're good. If it's not full, refill it, and you'll be good to go. You definitely do not want to run your diff dry. That'd be very bad. But yeah, just a quick tip. So you just throw the tube on this side and then clip it to the rear differential lip right here, and then make sure the filter is run up away from the exhaust so it doesn't burn up or anything like that or melt. But hopefully this fixes your problem. If not, hopefully just one of those things that you could check off the list of things that you needed to do either way. But with that being said, hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.